Alright, so this video is going to be about how you can customize your weapons and spells and powers, and make all the sorts of modifications you might want to do to customize your character and their special powers. I'll start with 5th edition, and then I'll also show you how to repeat the same sort of things with Pathfinder. So what I've got here is just a blank character sheet. This has got absolutely nothing in it, and I've just gone to the Actions tab. Just down to the Actions tab, and first up there you've just got your weapons. So if I just click on that magnifying glass, I can bring up some information, some data about your crits and how they work for melee and ranged, and how many extra dice will roll if you do roll a crit. But what I really wanted to show you was the we get added powers. You can get powers in all different forms. They can come from potions, scrolls, wands, staffs, spells, or it could be just an ability. So, or it could be a special weapon that has a power. So when you're adding a new power, what you're going to do is just come down here and you're going to hit this button, and you just select power here, add power. So now I've got 2 different powers. So in the right hand column you say what is the source of that power. So it might be potion, and this one, see how it now creates that heading there, potions. This one could be an ability, and then you might have one that relates to your sword. So this ability could be something like, I don't know, it might be a healing ability. On the right hand side here, I can click on that and I can adjust the stats that it's based on, the proficiency, and put any special modifiers in, data uses, whatever. What I'm really looking for though is this one. When I right click on it, see this little arrow here. If I click on that, that's going to allow me to add specific actions. And this works for Pathfinder and it works for D&D, both the same way. So there's 4 options here. I can add a cast, damage, healing, or an effect. If I add a cast, that's going to bring up attack roll, saving throw, and the way to enter data in there is you can click on the little magnifying glass here, and now I can put in whether it's the type of attack, adjust what the save's based on, tick whether it's magical or not. On a save, what happens? Is it going to be half on success or not? If I right click and then go to add damage, I get this little column up. Now this might be a poison potion. Right click on this little magnifying glass at the end and I can add more. It might be heal as well. No, I don't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that action. So how do I affect the damage? I click on the little magnifying glass at the end. And I should be able to just drop some dice in there, and then I can type in poison or whatever. And I can adjust the stats here, bonuses, all sorts of stuff to it. Make it based on an ability. All sorts of different modifications I can make. With my sword, I will add it's a healing sword. So again, I'm going to click on this and then I can say how much healing it's going to do. Call it my healing sword. And I'm going to give this sword also a special effect. So I'm going to click on this one, and this time I'm going to add just an effect line. So here I can type some special coding. Again, I open up the little window there, and here's where I'll write the description of what that healing sword is going to do. So it might do a bleed damage. So DMGO. But now that I've added my effect line in, I want to put some data into it. So you've got to have to use some coding to be able to do this. Fantasy Grounds Effects 5e. First one that comes up. This page, this little wiki here, gives you all your effects codes. and you just scroll down here and you research a little bit. They're all your standard conditions and the coding that sits behind them. And then here is all different coding for different types of things. So you're just going to have to research this and find out which kind of effect you want to use, you need, and then figure out the way to enter the coding from there. But this is the page to get all your information for 5th edition. And it's not that different for Pathfinder either, but there is a separate page for it. So I don't know, let's say that your sword is going to stun. Let's say your sword is going to stun people when hit. So it's going to provide grant advantage attack. That's the effect. So we can just copy that. Now we're going to click here, and then this bit there, I'm going to put the grant advantage attack, and it's going to last for 2 rounds, and it's going to affect the target. So now I've got an effect. Now all I then have to do is when I'm on the combat tracker, I can when the character is on the combat tracker, you can just click that and that'll apply to whoever is on the combat tracker, or you can drag and drop that effect onto a character. So I can drag that effect onto a creature, and that'll show up now on the combat tracker. Grant advantage, duration 2 rounds. So in Pathfinder it works very much the same way. What I want to do is add a spell class. It treats all your abilities as spells, so I just normally go, I might say leave these are potions, and you can make it whatever level potion if you like, and you can so you're not linking this so much to your character though, so you don't want to really mess with the ability unless it is a spell and the spell does link to your character. But just stick in one end, and that gives me a little box, and we can just make them all based off as if they're cantrips. So here I can just go add a spell. I can write the name of the spell here. It could be a test spell, whatever. Give a short description there and write whatever you want into that. But here's the important bit. Right click on that and see this little arrow here. Hit that, you get the same one. So add an action, and then you can enter your data for that action by clicking on the magnifying glass at the end of that line. Right click it, you can add damage, again entering the data by clicking on the magnifying glass at the end. You can drag and drop your dice into there, put your damage type in, and any other modifications you want to make. You can add a heal, same way. Drag your dice in. You want to make a special effect, add effects, and here you type in the coding here. Now the coding you're going to use for Pathfinder, this time you'll search 3.5 effects. Hopefully that brings it up straight away. So this is all your Pathfinder 3.5 effects. Again, you've got your standard conditions there and the coding for all of them. So go to this page and study it and figure out your coding from here. And then all your other varieties of effects can be found here. There'll be a way to do just about everything you want to do. So if I want to do something that like damage ongoing, bleed damage, so I can write bleed, but that's just the name of the effect. Now I want to put in what Fantasy Grounds needs to read. So for that I know it is DMGO, put a colon in there and 2. Now if I hit a creature and I want to leave bleed damage on it, all I've got to do is just take that and drop it on the creature on a map or on the combat tracker, and then from then on it will have bleed damage. Bye for now.